Fricker's discussion of what she calls traditionalism and reductivism, I think helps us relate the way she's thinking about feminist epistemology to some of the discussions we've been having earlier about this. So, how does she use these terms? Well, traditionalism for her is this view that social and political concerns don't have any important connection to epistemology and rational inquiry. And this is what I sort of portrayed last time as the standard classic traditional view. This is, I think, Hack's view. There's no special or important connection between epistemology and social and political concerns, and in particular between epistemology and feminism. The other view she talks about, she calls reductivism. This is the sort of other extreme view. We didn't really talk about it in quite this extreme of fashion, but here reductivism says something like reason and truth are not norms on epistemic inquiry. That is, we shouldn't aim toward the truth when we think about epistemology. The goal isn't to have sort of true beliefs. We shouldn't have a notion of justification that's about following the truth. All that there is on this reductivist picture is this idea that different groups have different goals and they're pushing and pulling. It's all an application of power. It's all a game of power. There is no notion of sort of truth, this neutral idea of truth or rationality that isn't playing sides between opposing political or social factions. I just want to point out, reductivism does not seem to be Longino's view. Longino, I think, thinks that there's a role for reason and truth, certainly in epistemic inquiry and thinking about epistemology. It might be more related to the view that I talked a little bit about, Sandra Harding's view that we discussed in our discussion. Remember, Harding said something like, the authority to say what's theoretically and politically adequate research and scholarship should remain in the hands of the marginalized. That makes it look like it is power, in a sense, social power that one is looking for in order to say what is knowledge, what is justified. It's not, there aren't some external criteria. Fricker's view is that neither traditionalism nor reductivism is totally right. She wants to sort of draw a middle ground. So on the one hand, she thinks social and political concerns do have an important connection to epistemology and to rational inquiry. So she thinks a pure form of traditionalism is wrong. Social and political concerns do matter to epistemology. On the other hand, she thinks reason and truth are norms on epistemic inquiry. So pure reductionism is wrong as well. So she's thinking neither of these extreme factions are true. She's going to certainly call herself a feminist epistemologist, and she's going to think that these social and political concerns do matter to inquiry. So she's going to reject the view of Hacks, but she's not going to say they're all that matter. And that's the sort of position she holds. Big picture. But I think it's helpful, and the reason we're really looking at her piece is to look at the particular topic she's talking about, and that's what we're going to look at in the next video. See this as an application of, or a sort of way that feminist epistemology might play out in a more particular example.